Hello. Hey, everybody in Shift Nation. I am excited to come to you guys today with Mr. Bob Burton here. Bob, thank you for joining me, sir.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
Awesome. So I know Shift Nation is very excited. Hey, good morning, Javon. Give Bob some love here for joining us. Good morning, everybody. Let us know you're watching. We're eager and ready to see what we got cooking for you here today. I'm pumped about this. I know we've had a lot of interest around this. I've had a lot of members of our Shift program ask me about what you did. It was on the Power Hour, so we had a lot of interest around it, and just excited to kind of walk through this because the campaign we're talking about today is something I think is very underutilized and unknown to many. So I think this is going to be very interesting all around. So Bob, again, thank you, sir, for joining me. To get started out, we just want to learn a little bit more about you. All right. So Sure. Tell us, I know you're California man. So tell us a little bit about your background, in the industry, where you're from, what you've done, and where you're at.
Sure. I'm a California native, one of the rare ones out here. A lot of people are transplants, which is okay. Born and raised in Riverside, about 100 miles from where I am now. I'm in El Cajon, California, so we consider that East County, just east of San Diego proper. I've been in the business about 10 years. I've been with my current firm here, Micro Financial Services, for about just over 3 years.
Great.
And spent a lot of time in the benefits side of things, insurance, and then kind of made a transition to get back to what I really wanted to do, which was planning and advising, and more on the investment side of things when I came over here with Mike. And then it's, having been in the business for a long time, I was kind of running somebody else's book of benefits clients. And so when I left there, I kind of lost all of my clients, or a bunch of them. I took some with me, but and so kind of had to restart. And like many of you, it's the struggle is, how do you get in front of qualified prospects? And that's just always kind of been the issue. Even when our first day in the business, I went with the company and they go, "Yeah, we got a great marketing plan. We'll help you find clients." And they go, "Yeah, write down everybody you know and memorize this 12-page script, and now go get them, Bob." And that was the marketing. Once you burn through that list, and you're kind of going, okay, now what? So
right.
I've just been fortunate. I've been able to hang on, this long in the business. Most people don't make it this long. And so when I came across Advisors last year, it's like, oh, there's something there.
Sure.
And I've been doing some LinkedIn. So I started doing LinkedIn stuff, and then jumped in about a month, 6 weeks ago, into the Shift program. So I'm going, okay, I got all these bits and pieces, but I just couldn't put it all together on my own. I wasn't that smart. I need somebody else to help me.
Yeah, well, it's fine. You got some comments coming through, and you got an Orange, California native on there. I only see different on Facebook. I don't know if that's our friend Mr. Sousa or someone else, but welcome. Got a couple of people saying good morning, and Jennifer commented, "Worst marketing plan ever," right? Yeah. So,
but it's the standard plan. It's the plan everybody gets.
Yeah, it's an industry standard too, right? Like, it's something that we see a lot, and a lot of advisors kind of just thrown to the wolves of, all right, go figure it out. Here's a script. Here's some, go talk to your family, your friends, your loved ones, knock on some doors and kind of figure it out. So, so we understand that for sure, and we appreciate it. And you say you jumped in, and to say that, like, I was talking to Brianna on our team meeting yesterday, and telling her we're going to have you on, and just talking about the success you're having. She's like, she was so happy for you because she knows that you jumped in both feet. I mean, you jumped in, worked hard, got everything where you needed to be very quickly, which is what we love here, advisors, action takers, and you're an action taker.
Well, you spend that much money and that, you might as well jump in and get it done, because otherwise,
Well, we appreciate that. So before we jump into kind of what's kind of transpired for you, share something personal with you. What do you do for fun? What's a hobby? What's something you got going on?
Yeah, so I love to golf. I'm not good at it. Actually, quite terrible. I'm a very high handicapper, but I enjoy it. And I always said I've been golfing for a few years, and I always said, hey, if I ever get to the point where I'm throwing clubs or doing all that stuff, then I'll be done. Because if I can watch Tiger Woods chunk it in the water or hit it in the second, now again, his second shot's way better than mine, but no. So I love to golf. I'm also kind of a bit of a whiskey and cigar enthusiast, and always look forward to a nice Friday evening when the work is done and you can pop a cork and light a stick out there.
Good.
And then I serve as, one of the things I really do is kind of giving back, is I serve as chair for a nonprofit out here called Young Lives, and it's
awesome.
So it's a Christian organization. It's all about reaching lost kids.
Yeah.
And so that's my ability to give back. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's pretty rewarding.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you know, Jeremiah's one of him and his wife and advisors, you know, the mantra is force for good. So we always love to hear about giving back. So that's awesome. Well, good. Well, Bob, again, appreciate you joining us. I'm excited to kind of jump in here. So let's just talk through, you know, part of this, we want to hear your story, but part of this too is teaching, right? And educating on how this works and how people can kind of replicate this for themselves. So I want to just kind of talk through the different kinds of campaigns, right? So most people know in LinkedIn, there's several levels of activity. And more importantly than that, LinkedIn went through some changes the last couple of months where they've actually decreased the number of activity you can do on outbound connection requests, which was a big part of many people's marketing strategies. So we had our Shift LinkedIn team program had a meeting about a month and a half ago. I think it might have been right before you came in. I'm not sure if you were on that one. And I said, hey, don't ignore your first degree campaigns. Don't ignore those first degree messages that you're sending out. And we actually had Jim Earl, who did a great video for us, explain what he did. And he had a very similar result. He launched a campaign, got 3 meetings in a couple of days, and did over 10 grand in premium, you know, in a very short period of time. So you experienced something similar, which I think is phenomenal. So you and I actually had a call on Monday. Yep. And you were thinking about these campaigns. You hadn't launched it yet. I said, well, you know what? We've got to do a teardown. I'd love to have you on and talk about it and kind of go through it and teach people as you're learning it. But you went ahead as an action taker, launched your campaign on Monday, and did pretty well.
Yeah. So the first degree campaign, and so I've had 12 replies, and I got 5 appointments set and 2 more that I'm working on to try and close. So that was as of close the business yesterday. So in 3 days,
which is awesome.
Pretty surprising.
And which is awesome. And we're gonna go through that in a moment here. And so you got a question here. So Bob, where are you from? So you're what part of you're near San Diego, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I live in East San Diego County, it's El Cajon, but I'm from Riverside, California, which is just 100 miles up the road. I was there, born and raised there until I joined the Navy and way back when in '84, and I've been down here ever since because it's a lot hotter up there. It's much nicer here.
Well, you know, it's you're pretty well represented from California here, and we got a number of people. I think it's pretty interesting. It's early over there, so we got a bunch of action takers that are on here, so that's good. So we appreciate everyone joining us. So thanks everyone, and keep the comments coming, keep the love coming for Bob here. So there's some interesting things too that I'm going to share my screen here. Let's share the screen and let's look at. All right, cool. This is your campaign that you ran. Okay, so you ran a first degree campaign. We're gonna kind of go through all this, and just for everyone watching, if you're not part of the Shift program, this is our software, not something we sell or anything. So you probably haven't seen this before. Just want to clarify that. But so Bob, in here, you got multiple messages. I want to talk about that for a moment. This is a new feature, and I think this is important to talk about even for our current Shift members who may not know this, because this is something we only launched about 2 months ago, maybe a little longer than that, but just right around that time. The ability to send multiple messages to a first degree campaign. So you did that. Where do you think, where did you see, do you think, most of your responses? I mean, it was within the first
It's all,
2 days.
I would say it's all been from the first message.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. And so, I mean, here's the message he sent. I mean, nothing too spectacular, right? Just kind of asking for a virtual chat. Just get, you know, I'll read it. We've been connected for a little while now, so I wanted to reach out and check in. And so again, this is going to a first degree message. So you're already connected with them. LinkedIn allows you to send up to 100 of these a day. So great activity that you can send out, get lots of replies. Got a resolution for the fall to make meaningful connections here on LinkedIn. One of the things I like about LinkedIn is getting to meet and learn about people I might not otherwise. I'd love to learn more about you over a quick call if you're open to it. As you know, social media is great and all, but nothing beats a great conversation. Would you be able to connect over a quick virtual coffee chat? No sales pitch, just learning about each other. That was the message. And magic happened.
Yeah. You know, basically, this is just kind of a template. I did steal the line about the resolution for the fall from Jeremiah from a call from last week. But that is pretty much just the template that you guys provided. Kind of tweaked it a little bit for me. And yeah, it just seems everyone's been like, yeah, great, love to just chat. And so the feedback on it's been pretty positive.
Yeah.
I've had one guy say no, thank you, and so okay, fine. And I just replied to him, great, love to put you on my email list if you'd like, my newsletter list, and we'll see what happens. But other than that,
yep. And you can see, I mean, you followed up. One more quick thing. So 2 days later, one more quick thing. I should have mentioned this in my last message. Please let me know if I get interested in any of my connections, or if you have content you'd like me to share with my network. Anyway, virtual chat still stands. So between those two messages, where you got those responses, so that's tremendous. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, it was really simple. You took our template, launched it, had a great campaign, and had a lot of success with it. So kind of just, I'll stop sharing here to kind of come back to. I want to just talk to something that you had said, because I think the world has changed, right? We all know that. And you were in a similar situation where you're like, all right, I've been in the business for a while. And I was in a similar position. For the first 12 years of my career, I was building other people's books. I'm like, all right, I'm tired of this. I got to do something else. You're kind of in that same situation. And, we're still making good money, all those things. So it's hard to make that switch and to do that, because there's a little bit of pain involved. But you did it. And there was something that kind of triggered that. So what triggered that for you, especially with advisors and what we were talking about at that time? If you could share that with everybody.
You're talking about as far as what?
What triggered you to take that action, is to go out on your own and to look for a program that could help you?
Yeah. So again, in my previous employer, we had some agreements there that just didn't work out. And it was just time for me to move on. He was, when I joined that firm, it was, hey, come on in. I'm 70 something years old. I want to retire in 3 years. I'd like you to start taking over the business. Well, 6 years later, I was no closer to having it. And so I was like, okay, I got to do something else. And it was, I was really not doing what I was passionate about, which was, I was doing mostly group benefit stuff, which is it's a good business. You can make money at it, but it just didn't excite me. And so I wanted to make the transition over to how can I help people. And so really the biggest thing and I've been part of the Power Hour since they started back in August of last year, or close to it. And just everything that was kind of being said about, finding a niche, developing your USP, figuring out who you are and who you really want to help. That just kind of all resonated with me. And then, it's that I hate making cold calls. If I have a reason to call you, I don't mind calling you, but don't give me a list of names and call people. I did that, and it's just brutal. And for you folks that can do that, God bless you. You're stronger than I am. I can't take that much rejection. And so I just wanted something that would put me in front of qualified people that were one, were qualified, and two, were kind of ready to go. And this program is I've kind of just watched it over the 8, 10, 12 months before I joined, was just kind of seemed to have all those pieces there, and it provided a way to kind of really passively prospect, but not really, right? You're active, you're actually doing something, you're putting messages out there. So it's not entirely bad, but you're not doing the cold call grind where I paid for some lists, and they're these people replied to a card, and they're waiting for an advisor to call, and you call them, and you finally get a hold of somebody, and you go, I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going, okay, this is kind of silly. I paid a lot of money for that, and so that was demoralizing. And so I was really looking for something else that I could do that would provide qualified prospects. And I like this. This to me works for me. It allows me to segregate the list without having to wait for somebody else to do it and relying on them to say, Bob, these people are all qualified. No, I can do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I love everything you said there. I identify with it. I think a lot of the people watching will identify with that because they're all in a similar position. I mean, cold calling is not fun. It's something we had to do, but it's not fun. So I got just a couple comments I want to address. So we are recording this. It'll be in YouTube. Moving forward, we post them there, so you'll definitely be able to see that. We got chairman of the board here. Kudos to you for taking action, Bob. So keep giving Bob some love here. He says he's been kind of on the sidelines with advisors here, but I think it's time to take the plunge, especially with September here now. Tell you what, we've been hearing that so much. For some reason, September is like, all right, gotta go, people. We got a couple more months with the year, so we got a lot of people. So if you, if you guys do want to take that plunge, meetwithadvisors.com. One of our coaches will have a quick 15-minute chat with you, conversation, see where you're at. So chairman of the board there, please sign up. We'd love to have you on board here and part of our team.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I called twice. I called about 6 months before I started, and at that point, it just really, honestly, it wasn't a good fit for me at that time. I wasn't quite ready, and that was one of the nice things about talking with your folks was they go, yeah, hey, you know what? Doesn't sound like you're quite ready for the program yet. Yeah. So don't feel like you're going to get some big heavy sales call and they're going to twist your arm to do this. They're actually really going to screen you to see if this is the right fit for you and where you are in your business and mentally to take this on. So
yeah. Well, that's why we want people like you, right? Action takers that are ready to rock and roll. So yeah, check it out. No stress, no high sales tactics or anything. We're just trying to coach you and learn what we can do for you. All right, a couple more good questions. Lots of good comments coming in. So congrats, Bob. What a win. Keep it up. I know Jim asked the question about your LinkedIn messages. Are they going to be available? So we did share them on here. We'll share them here. Jim, they're in the members area of the Shift program, so you can pull those right from there. Those are the templates that we use. So if you need those, let us know. It's on our Shift team. We'll send them over to you. No problem. All right. So there's another question. Does this work for targeting higher net worth people? So let's do a little exercise here. We promised a teardown. We promised instruction on how to do this and teaching here. So that's what we're going to do. All right. So we're going to share here. All right. So this, for those of you who've never seen this, is Sales Navigator. Okay. Sales Navigator is a premium subscription with LinkedIn. You do get, we talked about the Power Hour yesterday, Brian. You get for 30 days free once you sign up. If anyone in the Shift program don't do that yet, wait until we tell you to, just when we want to maximize those 30 days. Once you get in here, it gives you some additional access, right? And they just change this around. So I'm going to do that again for those of you who didn't see. See this little filters button, add filters? Here's the search, okay? And this becomes your best friend here. And Bob, this is what you went through. So this is where we're able to choose different things. So if we want to choose a geography, right? So let's say California. We're going to show you exactly how to do this here. California. Now, Bob is running a first degree campaign. So you see the different types of degrees. So I'm going to just run through the three real quick. So first degree means we're connected. Bob and I are connected on LinkedIn. We're first degree connections. I can message him directly. Second degree would be somebody I'm not connected to, but Bob is. And then I would get access to from second degree. LinkedIn likes that for sending connection requests, things like that. You're only once removed. They don't mind you sending connections for that. So if Bob's connected with people, I'm able to connect with who he's connected to. Now, why this is great, and so I see here, Jeffrey's asking about niche. He works in a very specific niche. The thing about a niche and the ability to connect with people in that niche is, guess what? We're probably connected with people that are similar to us, right? So if you're looking for middle-aged men with 4 kids who like to play basketball on the weekends, hurt themselves, and then, come to work, that's me. Odds are I'm connected with other people like that, right? So you get into that sphere of people that opens up your niche even more and allows you to be really targeted. So that's the importance of this. The third degree is people Bob and I are not connected to that are out there that are just on LinkedIn. We don't really love to go after them for connections, but there is something called in-mails. We'll save for another teardown, but in-mails would be the way to do that. Just kind of sharing all that with you here. All right. So Jeffrey, to your point, we're going to look at that in a moment as well. So we're going to go after first degree connections here because that's today's teardown, right? For this campaign. So now we can break down by industry. We can also take out industries. All right, you see me click that plus or X button here. So if we don't want to be marketing to our competitors, we can just take them out.
I think that's important in any of the campaigns you do is make sure you take out financial services, investment banking, if that, or insurance people, if that's your niche.
Yeah. Investment banks. So you can kind of go through, and I'm going to show you how you can save this, and it's a live thing. So Bob, I'm sure you've done this. You've saved your search, and now you can go back in and you can keep updating it and getting new people in there and even adding more industries to exclude or more professions to include and go through it that way.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. All right. Rocking it, Bob. We knew it was a great program for you. That's who you get for you, Bob. I'm sure you worked with her. She's your biggest cheerleader. Yeah. You can do it by schools. So if you guys want to go after alumni, so this is where the niching comes in and the customized messaging. All right, we're going to go down here. You can go by seniority level, their position in the company. So someone was asking about high net worth individuals. LinkedIn doesn't allow you to go after people based on their income, right? That's just not something they do. But we know who makes money, right? We know the professions, we know the titles, we know the roles. All right. So we can talk to owners, C-suite. So CXO is C-suite, directors, managers, right? So down here is entry level, training, unpaid, seniors. So you can kind of start to sort it. So let's say we're going after that C-suite. We want to go after high earners, and we want people that have only been doing it 10 years or more. So now we know we're increasing the likelihood that they're high earners here. All right. You can do years at company, years of experience, any number of different things here when you're kind of clicking through. Title. You can go over their title, function, company, headcount. All right. So there's a number of different things you can go in here. Some of you going after, let's say if I wanted to go after physicians, maybe doctors, I kind of got to play with it a little bit. Maybe I didn't give it enough time. Maybe I don't know how to spell physicians. I'm embarrassing myself here. But you can see all the different things that kind of come up on the different industries that you can go after here. Okay. So last thing I want to do is groups. Like anything you don't see here, there's probably a group, right? If you're going after people that like to do yoga, people that like to golf or drink whiskey, smoke cigars, all of those different things. Let's see, if we type in golf here, we got a bunch of golf groups. This allows us to actually start searching by hobbies or interests or things like that. So here's, all the kind of specifics here inside of the group. So we got lots of things here. So we got about 65 people. Again, I'm just throwing this up here. We don't know numbers. So we got the search here. Now we can kind of look and see who's in it. All look really good. Okay. So chairman of the board, that's what he came for. Good. I'm glad we're delivering for you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. All right. The save search button here, I can save my search. I can name it. And I can set alerts when new people enter it. All right, and why this is important, you keep coming back to the same search. You don't have to do all that work, and you can keep updating that. So, Bob, you went through this. Was this hard to do?
No, not at all. And I've been doing it for a while. I was using another program to do my searching and run some other campaigns. The problem was there was no execution or follow through on the end. I was just making all these connections. So I got a bunch of connections, but now what do I do with them, right? And I didn't have that next piece, and that's what I've gotten from the Shift Accelerator program and be able to run these campaigns in this way. Okay, now I can actually reach out to them with something that's meaningful, and that's good.
Good. You're getting lots of good comments here. Thanks for being here, Bob. Jeremiah stepping in here. Great job of stepping up, Bob. You immediately apply what you covered and are reaping the results. So that's awesome. Huguette out here. Yep. Get on a call with Huguette. So you can talk to Huguette. You see her in here. Advisorlinq.com. She's the best. So would you second that motion, Bob?
I would. Yeah, absolutely. I talked to her twice, and she's the one that said the first time, hey, this really isn't right for you. And then the second time, like, hey, you know what? Let's get this thing going. So, she's wonderful. She knows what she's talking about, and she's going to help you make the best decision for you. So.
Oh yeah, and she's an advocate. You guys don't see the messages she sends me, making sure we're taking care of you guys. So. And Ralph, thanks for being on, man. Appreciate you joining the program too. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So all you do is save the search here. Now, here's what you need. Chairman of the board's asking the domain again. The domain again, Jazz, if you could throw that up, meetwithadvisors.com. We'll throw that up at the bottom here so you can grab it. Meetwithadvisors.com. You just sign up for a quick chat, and Huguette or one of our team members will be able to speak with you there. Great. And I'm excited. Now I'm interested who this chairman of the board is. We're going to have to find out. So it sounds all right. So we'll pull this link. Okay. Next important piece, this link right here. This is a link that pulls us right into here. So Bob, this is something you've done before.
Yep.
I want to go back to our Advisorlinq, and I'm not gonna set a campaign here for you. I'm just gonna take them through it. So if it's all right, we're gonna go back to campaigns. Again, this software is not for sale. It's not something we sell. This is only for our Shift members. So just want to make that clear. So I know we'll probably get a lot of questions about that. Not available unless you come to the program. Meetwithadvisors.com if you want to learn about the program. But we're gonna create a new campaign. And here's a trick. When you're naming a campaign, put the date in there, okay? So we can go first degree, CXO, C-suite, and then we just put the date, right? 9/2/21. The importance of the data is knowing how long a campaign's running. When we know how long a campaign's running, we can see if it's performing well, what we need to do differently, when the last time we ran one. It saves a ton of trouble. So that's a free tip. Use that. All right. Post in the LinkedIn URL here. Now you see what happened down here. So this is great for our shift members. When you're plugging this thing in, you're going to see first connection pop up. That means you got the right link in here. Okay. First degree. You got second and third degree for other campaigns, but we got the right link. We're good to go. Now I want to click collect contact info. Very important step. Bob, why is that so important? Why do we harp on that?
Well, because if you want to be able to contact them outside of the program later on, right? You want to be able to put them in, if they don't connect or they don't make a meeting, I want to be able to drip on them later.
Yep.
Well, and again, it's been helpful when just communicating. Sometimes you're communicating via LinkedIn message, but sometimes they want to take it to email. So if you got their email, it's nice and easy to do.
Yeah. And just to clarify what that is, so what happened is LinkedIn in November of 2018, we remember this day fondly because, we were using this software, we're selling the program, we had members, and part of the package was, hey, we'll help you download all your connections and get all their email addresses. Big win, right? When you're building a list. And so November of 18, all of a sudden that disappears. LinkedIn, as they do, they change something without us knowing, which is fine. But they do that, and all of a sudden, we don't know how to do it. We're lost. It's gone. So we had to change that in our system. It's something we added. So now we will be able to pull email addresses, all that stuff for you. So a big step there, something very good. All right. So Anna's asking if you can do this through LinkedIn without the software. The answer to that is yes, but I'm going to say good luck. All right. It's a lot to manage, especially with multiple steps and following up with people and all of that. I know, I don't know if Dan's watching, Dan Leonard. Reach out to Dan Leonard on Facebook and ask him if you should do that. The spreadsheets and everything you'll have to do. But yes, you could do that. Without Sales Navigator, though, it becomes a lot harder because you don't really know you don't have a search list to go after. Sales Navigator is important in this. But could you do this effectively? No. Could you start some campaigns? Absolutely. Could you reach out? Yes, but very difficult and very tough to manage at scale.
Yeah, you could start making connections, but it'd be a very slow or very extremely time consuming. If you want to just spend 10 hours a day doing it, you could maybe almost sort of not really be productive.
How much time do you think it would take you to send 100 messages a day, Bob, if you had to do that?
Oh my gosh. Hours. Yeah.
And this campaign will run for you for weeks without touching it. So, depending upon how many people you have in there. So you're a brave soul if you try it. I wouldn't suggest it.
You got to constantly be going back in, checking your messages, hey, who replied, who didn't,
Yeah.
Trying to track. Oh, yeah. Give me a headache.
Yeah, for sure. All right, a couple more questions. So our campaigns run from personal, I think it says Facebook page, but I want to be clear, we're talking about LinkedIn here, not Facebook. So it is run from your personal profile on LinkedIn, not your business profile on LinkedIn. Okay, so just to be clear on that. So we got Insure Atlanta asking their VA to set it up. So VAs are great, absolutely. And then Ralph, no, this is a first degree campaign. So first degree. Ralph is asking about second degree messaging. No, it's completely different. Those are two different activities on LinkedIn. So you can have a first degree going without worrying about a second degree campaign. So no worries there. If you need some help, you let us know.
Because I currently have a second degree campaign running as well.
To
build more connections and such. So.
Yeah, Ralph and other shift members that are watching this, Brianna's up at 3 p.m. today, her coaching hour, where she'll go over all the stuff. So if you need a little help there, she'll be happy to do that. Okay, hit it next. All right, so we have two options here. So again, this is something with our campaign. There's simple sequences and smart sequences, and Bob even set up smart sequences, which are great. So we've got here lead source. We already know where those leads are coming from. All we're doing is sending a message. All right. First message, we're going to plug in here. Hi, Chris. And then we're going to use that template that you already have from the shift that I shared earlier. So you guys already have that. You can take a screenshot, whatever you need of that, but it's right there. Let's talk, right? And you got your first step. You can say how many days you want to wait. I want 1 day, 1 hour. All right. You can add images too in here. So we'll go through every step here on this. but very easy to do. Drag and drop. We want to add elements. We can add another one. If you guys have email, Bob, your stuff for email, you can add email in there as well. So very easy to do, all inside of here. That's your first degree campaign. That's how simple it is. You could be up and running. I mean, how long does it take you to set up your campaign, Bob? 20 minutes?
Yeah, if that. I mean, so the hardest part's the messages, right? So you got to write those, and for me, it's got to go through compliance, and
sure.
I have a pretty good compliance department, so they're pretty quick about it. But yeah, so if you have everything written, it's in a Word document. All you're doing is copying and pasting, and I think I have 5 or 6 messages, and yeah, less than 20 minutes, I was up and running. Well, sort of. I hit the wrong button, but yeah, other than that, I was okay.
All right, cool. We're gonna stop sharing here. So that so I kind of want to go over. Well, answer a couple more questions in here. Well, this will be on the YouTube channel, right? I know a lot of people are asking about the recording of this. So I think a lot of people are finding great value. Awesome. Glad everyone's finding value in this. Bob, again, thanks for sharing this with us and doing this. Yeah. It'll be up there on YouTube. You can check it out again. A couple other questions. What's a VA? So a VA is a virtual assistant, not a variable annuity. All right. I know there's some little confusion out there when we're talking about that. So a VA is something, again, in our shift program, we help you get onshore, offshore VAs to help you do the work that you got to do. All this stuff, right, that we can train people on and help people to do. This time, your time should be used generating revenue, right? Working with clients, doing those things. Technology then can be run by a VA. So we have a program inside of our shift. So again, you want to learn about that, meet with advisorlinq.com. We'd love to share that with you and get you rolling on that.
I do have a question for you. This is something I was saying about is on the LinkedIn. If you saved a search, how do you reuse that search?
Oh, good question. All right, I will show you that. Let me answer this question about smart sequences. You can use we sync to Gmail, Outlook, or custom email, so you can use anything you want pretty much on smart sequences for Insure in Atlanta there. Okay, so should we have a business or a personal profile? If one of our Facebook users are asking, both. Personal profile and a LinkedIn profile for your business. LinkedIn doesn't allow you to have more than one personal profile, but you can certainly have a business profile attached to your personal account. You would create it through your personal account, so that's more than okay with LinkedIn. All right, yep, setup's 20 minutes. It's very quick, so not a problem there. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again here. We're going to save this search. Let's save this. This is actually a really good question because this is something that can trick some people up here. So we go to our save searches. That's all I got to do. Here are my save searches, okay? If I click lead search 11, which I just ran, it's going to populate all the people that now fit that category. I just did it a couple minutes ago, so it's probably the same people. But if you do this a couple weeks later, there's going to be new people entering in it, and it'll be refreshed here. Now, I want to show you, this is actually a really good tip. You see the save search ID up here? This is a short URL. LinkedIn changed this a little while ago. It's not pulling the full URL. So even though it's a save search, we have to just change something real quick on it. Like just take off one of these criteria and just add it right back. And you'll see it goes back to that long URL that we need. Okay. So that's how we do it. We pull up that save search. We have to take off a piece of criteria, just add it back. And now we have this link. So Bob, all you'll do is you'll duplicate that campaign once it runs out of people. Just you click the 3 little dots, duplicate it, throw that search in that new campaign, and you're off and running in 2 minutes now instead of 20. So Tom will like that even more. Yep. All right. Well, that was a breakdown. That was a teardown, right? I hope everyone got good value out of that. Bob, I just want to ask you a couple more questions. You've been gracious enough to spend some time with us. Hopefully spend a couple more minutes. So what do you think, like, you got this thing cooking. As you already alluded to, you've been trying other things. You came into the shift program and kind of we gave you those missing pieces. What do those missing pieces mean for you? I mean, you're up and running, getting appointments now. What does that mean for you in growing that business that you're trying to grow?
Yeah, well, you know, it's hope, right? I mean, it's a little bit of a brighter light at the end of the tunnel that, okay, you know what? I don't have to just continuously grind to grow my business. I can actually get it to where I want it. Kind of like you guys say, it's a faucet, right? We can kind of turn this thing on, turn it off. Yeah. And so, you know, right now, hey, yeah, I'm wide open. But when I get to the point where I want to be, where I'm, you know, my goals, and then I can crank that back down if I want to. So there's just an element of control and feeling like I have some control over actually building my business, and it's not so much luck and whim, and it doesn't have to be this slow grind of either cold calling or referrals, continually asking for referrals, those kind of things. So it gives me an ability to control the pace at which I build my business.
Yep, that's awesome. And so of these appointments that you have lined up, we got another Facebook user asking too. I mean, pretty confident you'll convert some of these, right? I don't think you've really had the opportunity yet. You just launched the campaign. But.
Correct. All the appointments are set for next week. I haven't had any yet. You know what? I mean, I assume it's going to be the normal. You get 10 appointments, and if I should be able to close at least 2 of those, I would imagine. So
What's your average? Sure. What's your average close, like FYC or GDC when you do something like that?
It just varies. That's part of what's been one of those things is that my book of business is so broad. It's hard to give that number. So it could be anything from $1,000 life insurance premium to $1 million in AUM,
right?
Which is significant, right? So really trying to get that a little more narrowed down so it's a little more predictable. Not that you won't help anybody that comes in, but really trying to focus and generate a more predictable revenue stream.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. You're so early into this. Again, thank you for taking the time and sharing with us and doing this. I mean, you're still really early into the program, really early into launching and already having this success is great. So hopefully we'll be able to follow up with you in a couple of weeks and hear about all the success you're having in business. So
absolutely.
Great. So is there any last thoughts or anything, Bob, you want to leave everyone with? I got one more question, but I just want to see if there's anything else you want to leave with everybody.
Yeah, I just say, if you're interested in this, make the call, set up a meeting. They'll help guide you through it. And if you join, just do the work. I'm not any smarter than anybody else. You follow the templates. They give you great coaching. You take the basic stuff and you tweak it to what works for you, right? My personality, my tone, how I talk, my messaging, and I'm able to convert all this stuff to me. So it's not some boilerplate plain thing that everyone's going to see it and go, oh, this is just another system. You really can customize it to yourself, but you got to do the work, and that was my commitment when I came in was, I'm going to work this thing through and, I'll make it work one way or the other. I'm going to get as much out of it as I can. And it's doing what you guys said. And that was, that's kind of the thing I noticed on the various Zoom calls and such, the training was the people that were having success actually did the work and then just work the process. Don't try. I'm a guy. This is my issue. I want to see the end. I want to know the answer at the end. But I just had to work through the process, right? Go through the steps, and it's trusting that you guys know what you're talking about. And so far so good. We're doing great.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's good. I'm just gonna ask a couple questions here, and we're gonna close out. So yes, you can ask somebody network. You can throw it in. This would be like general questions. Just throw them in there if you want. Not a problem. We look forward to answering those questions. Coffee chats are 15 minutes. Bob, are those calls you set up 15-minute chats?
That's the process. Yep. And what I do is when we get to 15 minutes, I say, hey, you know what? We're at 15 minutes. I told you only 15 minutes. I'm going to cut this off. They go, oh no, we want to. I'm good to keep going. I'll keep going. I mean, I'm not stupid. But I want to honor that hey, it is 15 minutes because anybody can make 15 minutes. If you go, hey, I need an hour of your time, no one's giving you that.
Yep. And this is all stuff we'll teach. Like we teach you even how to handle those 15-minute chats, how to move them forward. So meet with advisorlinq.com. We'd love to have a chat with you about that. And then Scott, I know you're asking here. So this is a good question. And Bob, this is one thing you did. You tweaked a little bit. You said, hey, it's the fall here. Thinking about my clients, like to have a conversation. With what we're talking about. I think a best practice here for you all, if you're going, because if you keep sending first degree connection messages, you send them the same thing, it's going to get old. I would run a quarterly campaign. And Bob, you haven't done it long enough to do something like that. So I ask you about it, but in the spring or right around Christmas time or whatever, January, hey, it's a new year. Let's get your finances in order, right? And it's a new theme or something you saw on the news or something pertinent at that time of year. And it's a quarterly campaign. And just run through all your first degrees every couple months. I think that's a good best practice there. Yeah,
my full campaign I think is like 24 days or something like that. To if they don't ever reply, so over the next month they're going to get 4, 5, 6 messages here, and so I wouldn't want it. I know I'd be annoyed if somebody just started a new campaign the next month and started sending me all that again. So that's good advice. Yeah, wait till, I like that once a quarter. And I may make it shorter next time. Like I said, I'll change it up. It'll be something different. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah. All good. We won't put that much pressure on you yet, Bob. We appreciate sharing what you have. So the questions keep rolling. I'm going to answer these real quick, and then we'll get out here. So, yes, anybody that has, shift members, you have questions, absolutely, Money Network, we can answer those. Question about the system. Again, the system we demoed there is not available for sale. It's only for our shift members. So if you want to learn about that or how you can get access, meetwithadvisors.com. Just sign up for a 15-minute chat there with our team. We'll be happy to have an intro call with you and see what fits. So meetwithadvisors.com. Our Bob's chats scripted. So your chats aren't scripted, but we give you, like Jeremiah did a whole breakdown of how those 15-minute chats should go, and they're in the members area. So we coach and we give ideas and questions to ask. But again, that's in our members area. You'd have to go to Meet with Advisors if you're not already a shift member to learn more. So meetwithadvisors.com. All right. Yeah. Bob, it has been a pleasure. I've been excited about this because I love the fact you took action on it. I love the fact that we had one conversation, you hit go on this thing, and it actually worked. So that makes my job easier. And so, I love that. Last word for you, sir.
No, I just want to say thanks to you guys. Like I said, the program works. Again, you have to work it, though. And if you're interested, take a look. Do something, right? I mean, if what you're doing is not working, it's that old adage, if you're just going to kind of keep beating your head against the wall, you're just going to bleed a lot and make a mess of the wall. So try going around the wall or doing something different. And maybe this isn't right for you. You know what I mean? I've done other programs, and most of you probably have, and they didn't work or they weren't right. You got to find out what works for you. But take a chance. I mean, that's at least have the call and get the answers.
Absolutely.
But everything it's going great. I'm enjoying it, and like I said, it just filled in all the little pieces that I was missing. It gave me structure. I think that's probably the biggest thing. It just gave me a path to go on to get from where I was to where I want to go in the programs.
Well, we love it. We're grateful. We're glad we know you're watching the Virtual Power Hour, so all you Virtual Power Hour watchers, keep doing that. At some point, you want to take that dive, as Bob said, jump on a call, meetwithadvisors.com, have a conversation with our team. No high pressure. We'll just have a chat with you, see what fits. Just kind of help give you that kick you need, hopefully in the right direction. So Thank you, everybody. Bob, appreciate it, man. And we will see you all soon. Thank you so much.
All right.